Paranormal Podcast contains content that might not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. This is Paranorm Podcast. Hello, guys. Welcome back to Paranorm, the podcast where we chat all things true crime and paranormal. I'm Emily.
I'm Sierra.
And this week we're discussing a missing persons case since it's been a hot minute since we've done that. But before we do, this week has been a fucking doozy. So how are you, Sierra?
I mean, all things considered, I think I'm okay. I'm in like a weird mental state, but I don't think it has anything to do with what happened this week.
I feel like we say this every week, but this week has been a doozy, but I feel like this also tops every week that we've had that's been a doozy. Except for having to move within a span of
yeah, other than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even then, I feel like mentally this week has done me in. I know you guys are like biting your nails trying to figure out what the fuck I'm talking about, but on Monday, that was Monday?
Yeah.
Probably. Okay. Yeah, Monday. So the start of our wonderful week. I got hurt at work. I fell down. I got knocked down by a dog. Before you guys worry, she's a very lovely dog. I didn't get attacked by her. She kind of hit my knees just right, in the back of my knees just right, and my legs buckled and kind of fell out from underneath me. And I broke my ankle, and then I sprained my hip, and I tore a muscle in my hip as well. So I'm in a boot. I fucking hate this shit. It's all on my right leg as well, so I'm not allowed to drive. I'm also not allowed to drink alcohol with the medicine that I'm taking, and it's not going well. But I had to stay overnight at the hospital, which is the first time I've ever done that, which is very strange, and COVID times to begin with, because nobody was allowed to stay with me or anything. So because they did a CAT scan and it appeared that I had appendicitis on top of everything. Turns out I don't have appendicitis, so I still have an appendix.
Yay!
I guess. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it was a very stressful week. It was just a lot. But I got to see Mags this weekend, so that was pretty fun. We went to the national park in South Carolina, and that was shit. It rained the entire time we were there. I couldn't even hike because of the stupid boot. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the boot off, but then immediately after I get the boot off, I have to have surgery on my hip. Like a 90-year-old woman, this will be my third hip surgery. God, that sounds so bad.
I mean, it is bad.
It is really bad. But yeah, this is my third hip surgery. Good Lord. So yeah, I'm going to be out of work for at least 3 months. I'm kind of dying on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in about 1 week, we will also probably be dying. So if you could I don't know, send something for Emily to do, that'd be fantastic.
That would be really great. I'm not allowed to drive. Let me just say that again. I am not allowed to fucking drive, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to cope with that.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to either.
I can't stand sitting still. It's just not who I am. I have to be doing something. Sierra knows this all too well. This is why I redid our guest bedroom 3 different times and redid my bedroom twice. I feel like I need to be doing something. So this is going to be an experience, which for my hip surgeries, the first time I was out for 6 months. And it wasn't great. It wasn't great for my mental health, but at least now I have other people that I'm living with because I was by myself. But yeah, it just the whole thing is very interesting. If you guys have any ideas for what I can do that doesn't involve me driving somewhere, I'm very concerned. I told Sierra, I was I need to find something to focus all of my energy on, Does that make sense? Yeah, because I feel like watching Netflix all day shouldn't be it.
Yeah, or telling me what to do shouldn't be it.
Yeah. I need you to go to the store and get this. But that is what's happening. The boot is very uncomfortable. I don't enjoy it. 10 out of 10 would not recommend it.
I'm surprised by that.
I'm a huge germaphobe, so the fact that I have to sleep in this thing after I've been walking around on it all day really freaks me out. I'm ready to get it off. Let's just say that. And that'll probably not be the last you hear me complain about it. So, because I'm going to be in this bitch for another 4 weeks.
So we'll be back next week.
Not next week.
Not next one.
The week after.
Whatever.
Oh man. All right. But yeah, that's how I've been. Sierra's been hanging in there. Probably. I mean, you made cupcakes yesterday, so there's that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like vacations do like a weird thing to me. Like whenever I have like a day off,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just get weird. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I don't know what that means. What do you mean you get weird? I think you're fine.
You're not in here.
Okay. She pointed to her head.
Yeah. But anyway, so.
That is the boot making noises. So trying to find a comfortable position with this bitch is a whole ordeal. I also got an earring stuck in the bottom of it a few moments ago, and the lovely Chloe helped me get it out. It's a whole ordeal. It's a whole ordeal. Like this case, it's an ordeal. Let me just say, it's a fucking doozy. It's so convoluted, and I hope I do it justice because You'll find out. You'll find out.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Yeah.
For this case? Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay. So, like I said before, we are talking about a missing woman, and her name is Heather Teague. Heather was born on April 25th, 1972, which made her 23 at the time of her disappearance, which is the same age as me. I just realized that.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh man. I haven't even taken any of my pain pills since like this morning, so we're just gonna fully blame that on Emily Brain.
All right.
She has brown hair and green eyes. Whoa. Also like me. Holy fuck.
Wait, are you Heather Teague?
I just realized that. Holy fucking shit. Okay, anyway, she looks like your average, like, 90-something. Not 90-something.
Whoa.
Good lord. 90s.
She is like you.
Oh my god. Fucking hell. Oh my god, no. 90s, 20-something, like pure Saved by the Bell energy, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Lisa Turtle almost, with the hair.
Mm-hmm.
She was a short little thing, like you, but she was also, like, really tiny. She was 5'2" and only, like, 100 pounds, give or take, so she was teeny. So to get right into it, Heather was home for summer break from college on August 26, 1995, and she was sunbathing at Newburgh Beach in Henderson County, Kentucky. Now, it isn't known for how long she was sunbathing for before she was abducted, but she was allegedly observed being abducted by a man named Tim Waterhall. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I don't really care at this point, and you'll find out why. And possibly his wife were watching the beach area through a telescope across from the Ohio River at, like, around 12:45.
Mm-hmm.
And the witnesses told authorities that he saw a Caucasian man approach Teague at the time. The abductor allegedly grabbed Teague by the hair, like wrapped the hair around his wrist and yanked her, and dragged her into the woods off of Newburgh Beach at gunpoint. The abductor was approximately 6 feet tall and weighed 210 to 230 pounds. He had brown hair and a bushy beard. He was wearing jeans and did not have a shirt on. He was also reported to be wearing a wig and a mosquito net at the time that he abducted Heather, which
What?
is strange, right? Okay. It just gets stranger. You have no idea.
No, I don't. Please enlighten me.
According to Heather's mother in an interview with Southern Gone podcast, Heather's mother's name's Sarah. It has been rumored but not confirmed that a local police officer was on the beach at this time. Heather may have been an informant as she was involved in drugs at the time. Also not confirmed because I only saw that at like one or two places that she could have possibly been an informant. So the police arrived shortly after the search, like after her disappearance, and they searched the beach and did not find Heather. They did, however, find her bathing suit and other personal items, which again is strange. Like,
wasn't she wearing her bathing suit?
Yeah. They then call Heather's family around 2:30. Again, she was abducted around 12:45. And speak to her mother, Sarah, in a tone that Sarah describes as panic and questioning if they knew where Heather was, like if Sarah and her family knew where Heather was. Sarah, confused at this point, responds with like a simple no, we don't know where she is. And the police say, hang on a minute, and then hang up the phone. Yeah. Then proceed to call back again in a state of panic and tell the family that Heather had left her car abandoned at the beach.
So not that someone had seen her be abducted, but that she had just left it there?
Yeah. Yes. So from that point, Sarah and her other daughter, Holly, drive to the beach, which again, at this point, the police know that Heather did not abandon her car, but that she had in fact had been abducted. Like, because again, it's almost 2:30.
Yeah, probably like 3 by the time they get there.
Yeah, exactly. And when they reach the beach, it is when they received news that Heather had not abandoned her car, but in fact she had been taken. So that's a little sketchy, and another thing that the family and I frankly find odd, you know. It's
like,
just
what's the point of that?
Yeah, exactly. So when they arrive, they're immediately met with Kentucky State Police. So not the county police, the state police. And the Henderson police were being less than forthcoming with the details. Like, they don't know about the witness. They don't know that her anything more than the fact that she is not being found. She's not been found, and her car is left there in the parking lot. Along like those same lines, it was discovered that Heather had just the night before met with a Henderson police officer who less than a year later was made an FBI agent.
Okay.
So that becomes important later. Now, back to the investigation. Police also discovered footage that had been filmed by a farmer filming one of his fields. I think this is adorable. He was trying to catch vandals in his footage. But they spot Heather's car parked beside a red Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't really like hardcore evidence. I mean, somebody just parked their Bronco there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like, that's interesting, you know?
So he was taking footage of his farm, but he saw her car
like
on the beach.
Yeah, I don't really
like parked like in the parking lot or wherever she parks it to go to the beach.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is like on the Kentucky/Indiana border.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's like right there. Like Indiana State Police get involved, and like Evansville police get involved and everything. I believe that's where Heather was from, is Evansville, but like I could not find anything like stating where she was from.
Mm-hmm.
It was really irritating me.
What side of the river was she on?
She was on the Kentucky side.
I don't know.
Because Kentucky State Police. Yeah. It's very convoluted. I'm telling you, this whole thing was very convoluted, and it was making my head hurt. I had to stop for a moment and just play my game because I was like, good Lord. Anyway, so now after the announcement was made that Heather had gone missing and gave the info about the vehicle, like the farmer had given the information about the
Bronco.
Yeah, and I was going to say about like the videotape. To police, they had stopped a man at like a run-of-the-mill traffic stop driving none other than a red Bronco. Also, every time I hear Bronco, all I think about is my grandpa's Bronco, and it is the exact same one as the OJ one. And I know I've told Sierra this, but when the whole OJ thing was going on, my grandpa put a sign in the back of his Bronco that said, "Not OJ." And that's all I picture every single time, because it just cracks me up. Anyway, so this dude was driving a red Bronco, and when the officers searched his Bronco, they found 2 guns, 2 knives, duct tape, rope, and brown hair in the tailgate, along with a few blood stains. Now, even more interesting is the guy that was driving this. His name was Marvin Dill, Marty for short, resembled the sketch that the witness had given.
The telescope guy.
Yeah, telescope creep is how I refer to him in my notes, and that is how I will continue to refer to him, mostly because I don't feel like he deserves his name. It's just a thing. I have beef with this man.
Okay.
Like, why is your
and
telescope?
His wife?
Yes, like, why are you just watching this random? Okay. Let me just say this, because I'm going to say it more, but I need to say it now. I need to get out of my system. Why are you watching the beach, and how are you watching the beach at that exact moment, and watching this one specific girl at that one moment? You know, like.
I mean, he was just watching everybody on the beach, and.
But at the one moment you're watching her, I find it very creepy. Why are you watching the beach with a telescope? That's weird.
That's his pastime. Maybe he was trying to watch the birds that frequent the beach.
So weird.
I don't know his life.
I have beef with this man. Now.
Do you need to send him a letter and let him know?
I think he's dead. So.
All right.
I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, so Mr. Dill was not arrested when they found all this stuff in the car. For whatever reason, they let him go. Now, after this little meeting, tips started coming in about Dill, with people saying he could have connections to Heather. So with this, the police were like, I guess we'll do our jobs. We'll go arrest this man. And they go to Dill's home to question him. But the moment that Dill found out that the police were coming to speak with him, he completed suicide by shooting himself in the head, which this all sounds pretty damning. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as it turns out, the sketch that Telescope Creep gave was drawn 4 days after the abduction day. With Telescope Creep, that's just how I wrote his name in the entire notes. So, adamantly denied the sketch was drawn from anything other than eyewitness accounts. However, the sketch looks exactly like Mr. Dill's 1994 driver's license photo, like exactly like it. Here's what he said to Medina, Ohio Police Detective Scott Thomas, when Thomas came to Indiana to question him last year. The body features particularly were similar, but that's all. And I told Scott, and this is important, that I will not change my story, that the person that I saw on the beach to this day is the person that identified as Mr. Dill. And yes, it matched to a degree. Like I just said, it matched his 1994 driving license photo. However, this is 1995, and the major difference is that Mr. Marvin Dill, was bald at this point.
So he wasn't in his photo/sketch, but he was in real life.
Yeah, because remember, Telescope Creep described him as having bushy hair and a beard. So, Miss Sarah, who at this point I'm only referring to as Babs because she is one, which if you guys don't know is badass bitch. Anyway, so this woman, like, seriously, she does it all. She goes and gets signed affidavits from Dill's family members confirming the fact that he was and had been since he was in jail, which was like a couple months ago, from this incident, and that there had been a lice outbreak at the jail that he was out, and they had shaved him bald, even his beard, and his wife had said it freaked her out when she went to visit him because she had never seen him that clean shaven. So now let's get into Marvin's death a little bit. Our wonderful Babs, Miss Sarah, of this story waited 8 years to get an autopsy report of Marvin's, detailing Marvin's death. And in it says he was shot at an angle with no gunpowder residue on his hands. And
which is impossible.
yes. And it was found out by some right-directed questions that when police arrived to the trailer and surrounded it, no one questioned where Heather was. Like, no one asked him if he knew where Heather was. And when they even let his dad go in the trailer and give him his Prozac medicine.
Why?
Yeah, exactly. After Marvin had completed suicide, you would think that this would be the end. Like, this would be the end of the route, right? Nope. The police proceeded to try and gather evidence against Dill. They even took their case to a grand jury, which led nowhere, as they did not have enough evidence. Everything was circumstantial, with Dill being dead, and his wife, who had been subpoenaed but was pleading the fifth, which is used if you are going to incriminate yourself. She refused to speak, which, I mean, okay, do what you need to do. That is where we're going to leave suspect number 1. And I use that term very lightly. The next we move on to suspect / weird thing that made me go, huh? Number 2 in this case, and that is telescope creep, which we are going to find out why I keep calling him that. Because, again, I don't understand why his telescope was pointed at the beach at that very direct moment. Like, it's just weird. Like, why are you using a telescope to watch people at the beach? It just makes me unsettled. It would make me unsettled if he was using binoculars as well. It's not just like the telescope aspect of it, Okay, anyway, so now this dude claims that he called 911 right after he witnessed the abduction. However, the police department, which is Henderson County Police, claim that there is no such call. However, we know for a fact that he called Indiana State Police before he called Henderson County Police. Or I think it was either Henderson County or Kentucky State Police. But we know for a fact that he called them at 1, which is like, still, if she was abducted between 12:30 12:45, that's a pretty decent sized gap, in time of waiting.
Why would you? Oh, I guess he's in Indiana. If he's viewing them from across the river, so he's in Indiana and she's in Kentucky.
Yes. You good?
Yeah, I was just, why would he call Indiana State Police? But I guess
he's in Indiana.
He's in Indiana, so.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what it was. The Kentucky State Police claimed that there was no such call made to them. Now, another thing that was weird was the guy rode with the Kentucky State Police in a boat across the river to find Heather's bathing suit bottoms. Odd. Okay? I love how you just give me blank stares. It just makes me feel like you're really, truly listening. It really concerns me.
Well, why would the Kentucky State Police go over to his side and then come all the way back?
Right? Like, I can kind of see, like, show us where you saw this happen. But, like, then again, it's just odd.
Well, like, you wouldn't necessarily give them your location. You would give them the location of what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
And so how would they know to come find you wherever you are?
Yeah. So along with this, it was also alleged that he was told that this telephone caller dude was told to leave town with his family by police for his safety.
No.
Yes. And he went to Texas. So back to that supposed 911 call, our wonderful Babs. In 2007, so 12 years after Heather's disappearance, hired an attorney. There we go. It's a day for some reason. Hired an attorney. What the fuck? Okay, hired an attorney. There we go. I got it. To file a motion against the police to release the phone call. And you know how helpful police are.
Mm-hmm.
Super, you know. So
They get right on that, I tell you.
Mm-hmm. So they, of course, say, oh, well, there isn't one. And then they change it to, oh, it wasn't recorded.
It can't not be recorded.
Yes. Then they change it again to, oh, it was recorded over. So finally, they change it again. And they were given a little snippet by the Kentucky State Police. And this is how we know that the Indiana State Police had one at around 1:15. Like, that's when the Indiana State Police received theirs. And that was all. We just know that the Indiana State Police received one at 1:15.
Wait, how?
Because the Kentucky State Police told the family that, hey, this is when this was released, and that's all we can give you. Like, we don't have anything else to give you. Is
so
what the story they were going
Indiana
with.
State Police gave it to Kentucky?
No. They had that.
Who's they?
The Kentucky State Police had. I feel like I'm confusing you more, but they had like timestamps. That the Indiana State Police were the only ones that received a call at 1:15. That Kentucky didn't receive a call.
So they had Indiana State Police's records?
Yes.
Why didn't Indiana State Police just give it to her?
They did. They already had Indiana's. Indiana's not the one that's fucking with them. Kentucky is. Kentucky is saying that they don't have records of the phone call. And their phone call is the one that they're like hinging all of this stuff on, like that Marvin Dill's guilty and all this stuff. Like, that's the phone call that they're after, because that's the one that has like what he saw and like what the dude looked like and what Heather was doing. That's the one that they need, because Indiana's isn't really that important. Does that make sense?
So why didn't he tell the same thing to both people?
Because I'm guessing Indiana State Police told him to call Kentucky State Police. I don't know. I wasn't there. Telescope creep this.
Gosh dang it.
I wasn't even born yet.
Well, what good are you?
You were. Why weren't you there?
I was not even, well.
You were 5.
I was busy.
Oh, fucking hell. All right, let me scroll back down. Okay, that was all that they were given. And
Which was nothing.
Which is nothing. So, now again, in 2008, Babs and her daughter Holly, as well as their attorney that they've hired in 2007, met again with Kentucky State Police and are played the supposed 911 call, the supposed real 911 call that the Kentucky State Police received. But
it didn't exist.
Yes. And it was recorded over. And it wasn't recorded. So, yeah. 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 They, again, are only given a snippet of it, and in it, Tim, telescope creep, is heard saying that he either had long, bushy hair and a beard or was wearing a mosquito net. Which, again, is 2 separate things.
How does that even look the same?
Exactly. Which is what the family was originally told. Like, sorry, the hiccups. Which is what the family was originally told. So this is the thing that they've been hearing since 1995. He had bushy hair and a beard, or was wearing a mosquito net, you know? No shirt, jeans, all that other stuff. However, Babs at this point knows that Marvin Dill was clean-shaven, even though they're still trying to put this on Marvin. So we're going to do like another little time jump, okay? Into 2016. It's like 8 more years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Where the Teague family had brought a case against the Kentucky State Police again for withholding the phone call evidence, which they won. Rightfully so, because the Kentucky State Police were obviously withholding evidence. They finally got to hear what is believed to be the full phone call this time. And in it, telescope telescope creep, there we go, is heard saying that he just called the Indiana State Police at 1:15, which, I'm sorry, but I gotta keep pointing it out, is odd because she was believed to be taken at like 12:30, 12:45, and that's a big gap, you know, to something that you just witnessed this girl get yanked up out of her chair. Now, Telescope Creep says he waited a while to call police because he thought it was her boyfriend messing around. Which, what? If I saw that and I thought it was her boyfriend, I would still call the police immediately because no man needs to be touching a woman. No person needs to be touching another person like that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Kind of weird. It's kind of violent and abusive is more what I was thinking.
But I guess he's a guy, so he's like,
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Now, it just disgusts me
I mean,
even
it
more,
doesn't make
though.
it right, but
No, it just disgusts me even more. Like, okay. Anyway, now back to Babs and her wonderfulness. Says that when she heard this, that is, like, the next part of this, it crushed her. Which, it kind of fucked with me, too, because this is not wonderful. That being said, what was on the call was 100% different than what was told to them for 20 years. And that story was that Telescope Creep had been eating lunch with his wife, and his wife looked through the telescope to see a man standing kind of in the tree line, you know, and that the man crouched down real slow, and then approached Heather to then whisper into Heather's ear and kind of put his hand on her neck, like flat on her neck, and then wrapped his wrist in Heather's hair, yanked her up. At that point, they spotted something shiny and silver, like in his waistline or in his hand. They couldn't really tell. And this commotion made Heather drop her towel in the sand. Now, that is not what this bitch said on the phone to the Kentucky State Police. Nope. He said that he saw the man charged at Heather from the tree line, yanked her up, towel still in tow, and off into the woods he went. So a little bit different, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, why would the Kentucky State Police hide this, and why would they want to protect it to this point is what I have to keep asking myself.
Right, because it's not like telling the parents would give them more information than they wanted to, like, release, you know?
Yeah. And, like, the whole idea that this could have been, like, a joking boyfriend, that's really violent motion.
Also, the boyfriend probably would have already been there.
Yeah.
Like.
Yes. But, like, again, that's a really violent motion. If you or I saw that, like, we would immediately think something was wrong. Or at least I would. Like, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, because, like,
that would be like, what would you do?
I don't know. I mean, even if he was, like, trying to scare her, like, he wouldn't, like, drag her away.
He wouldn't yank her like that.
They might, like, go into the woods to do whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, he wouldn't, like, drag her by the hair.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, then it, of course, comes to, like this avalanche of new discovery comes to, that they are withholding more evidence than what was first believed in 2005. It was discovered that in 2005 it was discovered, and the family aren't finding out about it until 2016. So it was discovered that they had been sitting on evidence from the Bronco search for 10 years. Hadn't even ran it or anything. Just sitting.
Oh.
Yeah. Which the family, again, didn't find out until 2016 when they filed this motion and won. These files aren't all that helpful, like the files that they received, because they are heavily redacted. Like, to the point where Sarah went to inquire, like, with the FBI, which the FBI were taken off the case at this point. She was given the runaround once more, and she literally gets enthralled in all of this bureaucratic paper nightmare. Like, one office is telling her to go here, another office is going to here, like, just getting tossed around. And she gets tossed around from the straight up Inspector General's office and just keeps going. And it is finally kind of stuck in like this limbo with everyone stating that it is the other one's fault, i.e. like the state police are saying that it's not redacted at their level, but the FBI are saying that they received it redacted. So, which leads me to believe even more so that the state police is protecting somebody on that level, with there being evidence to support that. I mean, I've just listed a whole bunch of it. Like the fact, and I didn't even mention this, and the fact that Heather had been seeing an officer. I did tell you this, right? And his sudden promotion / his sudden removal from the Kentucky State Police, you know, just kind of like they're trying to get him away. And another officer as well was also fast-tracked in his career and was moved higher up and then also moved around away from this case. Now, the same officer sent Heather's mother, Sarah, a letter stating that she wasn't allowed any further contact with him since she had accused him and the state of obstruction of justice, which they were literally proven guilty of doing so.
It's not like she's like going to see him to go to see him, like,
for funsies.
Yeah.
Which, you know, isn't that far off when they were doing things like punishing the officers who are giving families something for them to hold on to. They gave them a little snippet of the timestamp of when the Indiana State Police were called at 1:15. That sergeant that gave them that information was demoted and moved to traffic duty and then forced into an early retirement.
Okay.
Yes. But no obstruction of justice here. So I know we are like going down the highway here and I'm kind of like in every fucking lane that there is. So we're just going to veer off another little way from all of this fishiness to another person of interest that I found. And his name is Christopher J. Below, a native of Henderson, Kentucky. And I'll put like a picture of everybody on the blog, so because there's a lot of names in this and I apologize, but that's just how this is. Anyway, so he pled guilty to attempted involuntary manslaughter in a connection with the death of of Catherine Fetzer in 1991 and is currently serving a prison sentence of 11 to 18 years for the crime. So Fetzer's body has never been found, but Below confessed to shooting her and pled guilty to attempted involuntary manslaughter. He also is considered a suspect in Mary Cosciotto, Shailene Farrell, and Christina Porco. Investigators believe that Below may have attacked other women who physically resembled Fetzer. Both Teague and Fetzer have long dark hair and were about 5 foot, give or take, and 100 pounds. Below was known to be in the general area where Teague was abducted, but shortly after her disappearance, on the same day Dill completed suicide, Below left Kentucky.
But he wasn't already in custody?
No.
From the 1991 thing?
No, he wasn't, like, found, like, they didn't know it was him yet.
Oh.
For the 1991 one.
Okay.
So it was also found out that he, Below, Dill, and Teague shared some acquaintances. Although the witnesses to Teague's abduction consistently identified Dill and not Below as the kidnapper, authorities believe that they had circumstantial evidence to tie Below into that crime as well. However, it was heavily circumstantial. They believed he and Dill may have done it together. Perhaps one grabbed Teague and the other one drove the getaway car. Below has not been charged in connection with Teague's case due to lack of conclusive evidence, including linking him to the crime. And now this is where I'm so happy for our Babs, Sarah. She was awarded $24,000 from the Kentucky State Police for withholding the 911 calls from the day that Heather went missing. These calls were requested and denied in 2016, over 20 years since Heather was abducted. KSP was accused by both Sarah and her attorney in discrepancies in the 911 call that they listened to in 2008 and another call in 2016. Both featured the voice of the eyewitness. So it's just really weird, you know? Like, why would you go to this many...
Such great a length
Yeah,
to...
thank you. To protect this one dude and to fuck up this one case.
I mean, obviously, like, covering something up. So.
Oh, yeah. Which, it's so fucking shady, and it's so sad because they still don't have Heather's body. And she had to declare Heather legally dead in 2005 in order to file the motion against the Kentucky State Police. Like, the whole thing is so fucked. Like, I can't, and I know I said this the last missing persons case, but I can't imagine not knowing, you know? And I think that's, like, the control freak in me because I have to know everything, but, like, even still, like, not knowing what happened to someone.
And, like, feeling like you have to give up on finding them in order to figure out what is actually going on.
Yes, and then in every single way, the people that are supposed to help you find them are doing everything in their power to stop you from finding out more. It's absolutely disgusting. But that is what I have for you right now. This is an ever unfolding story. Like, that last little bit about the money that Sarah was awarded was just from 2018. There was also a couple new articles from June and July of 2020, but I didn't find anything more recent than those. And that was just kind of rehashing the same things. Sarah has a Facebook page called Where is Heather Teague? There's also a podcast that I listen to, and I don't usually like to listen to other podcasts about cases that I do, just because I don't want it to kind of influence me in any way, you know? I say you know a lot, but you know. So it's called TM Podcast, and Sarah actually talks on that one. It's a really, really good interview. She gives a lot more details than I could put in this, just because we'd be sitting here forever. But it's just, if you guys have any kind of idea where this woman could be, or like any idea of what could have happened to Heather, you can reach out to Sarah at 270-836-7643. I would give you the Kentucky State Police, but I mean,
at this point, they can't really be trusted about.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go with the NamUs Regional Program Specialist. Her name is Amy Hobbs. Her phone number is 865-235-6523. And again, I mentioned her Facebook page. If you just Google Heather Teague's name, her Facebook page is one of the first things that pop up. It's got an email on there. It's got the website, and it's got everything. It's got pictures of her, which we, of course, put on our blog. It's just, a family out there needs closure, you know?
Yeah.
But if I have another update, I will. I have my Google alert set, so if something happens, I will know about it. But that is my case for this week. I feel like I rushed through that. I'm sorry. It just made me angry. When I get heated, I talk faster. I already talk fast, so.
Right. I mean, and, like, they have no idea, like, even why she could have been taken. Like, there's no, motive. Nobody, like.
Exactly. Like, she was just home from college sunbathing. It's unsettling because you think you're in a public place. You think you're safe.
You're just doing the normal thing.
You're doing the normal thing you're supposed to do at the beach, and then all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, or in the blink of creepy telescope guy's eye, you're gone.
Or his wife, as she's.
Or his wife. There's.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And probably nobody. But anyway.
Yeah. It's just the whole thing's very weird.
I mean, the telescope thing can be coincidence, but, like, why you wouldn't call right away, there's, like, still,
exactly.
Like, it could be coincidence, but there's still a lot of, I mean, landlines, but, like, still, only a couple minutes to go from outside to inside.
And he's at his house, yeah.
Like, they found stuff in the Bronco, But you said they hadn't tested anything.
No, we don't even know if it was human blood. It was brown hair. It might have been deer hair.
Right. But they couldn't arrest him because he completed suicide, but, like, they never really were like, it's definitely him either.
No.
You can't charge a dead person, but...
I mean, yes, you can. You can do a postmortem conviction. But they technically can't defend themselves, so it's not correct.
So,
yeah.
You may never know.
Oh, yeah. And that's the most heartbreaking part. Like, ugh. Anyway. All right. So, that's what we have for you guys this week. Our hockey team won. Did we say that?
Mm-mm.
Our hockey team won, guys. I don't know. They played like 3 other games.
Yeah, so they won the first game, they lost the second game, and then they won the third game.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. So the second and third game, they played the Senators, and they lost the first one. I think it was like 5-3, and then they won the second one 3-2.
Super cool. Super great. Also something
in line with the hockey team.
Mine's not, because Sierra knows me so well. I jump.
We get off of the hockey team. There was an article on the ESPN thing that said...
We're talking about ESPN. Who the fuck would have ever thought that would happen?
So one of the reporters said that the Maple Leafs are... Actually, I have a few things that I wanted to say about the hockey team. Okay, so that the Maple Leafs are his pick to win, like, the Stanley Cup, which is, like, the main thing for hockey. And they're one of the original 6 founding teams.
Okay, I did see that. That's interesting.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they have the most Stanley Cup wins of any other team in the NHL.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think they have 13.
And I just picked them because I like their name. Sierra literally just read me a list of hockey teams, and the more that she read me, the angrier that I got with these people's names.
So she had, like, already picked that one, kind of like, and then I was like, well, let's look at all of them to, like, make sure that that's
and
the
more
one.
She told me, the angrier I got, because that's one thing about me. I have very decisive opinions.
To be fair, the names are pretty terrible. Like,
yes.
Seriously, what are you thinking? But,
Whatever.
I think a lot of them are very historic, like, very old names. So I think they probably just didn't do a very good job. They weren't very creative. But there weren't very many teams, so it's not like you had to, like, think of something very unique.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. Oh, well. Who would have thought that we would be talking about ESPN articles on our podcast?
You could get into a fantasy league if you wanted to.
God,
so.
No.
I don't know that much about it, so I decided that. Well, plus I don't know anybody around here who is in an NHL fantasy league. So.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I'll find something to do with all this time. Sierra was so funny. She goes, "Do you have anything planned for Thursday?"
Yeah.
Oh, man. And I just looked at her dead in her eyes and I go, yeah, I'm going to sit here and watch Netflix. So not a whole lot going on at the moment. But yeah, I don't remember. Oh, a whole lot is going on Wednesday, though, guys. So the day after this comes out is the fucking inauguration day. A big fucking deal. Cannot wait.
I mean, a little bit.
A little bit of a big deal. Cannot wait. Yeah, mostly because I don't know if you guys saw this meme the other day, but it was the moving boxes showing up to the White House. Oh my God, it was so fucking funny. I cackled when I saw that picture.
How much stuff do you think they have to move out of there?
I do not know, but I know they are spending $500,000 to clean the White House, which is the most they've ever spent on a presidential transfer. Which, thinking of the spray tan stains alone, is probably a good bit of cleaning.
Right, plus all the COVID outbreaks that they had.
Oh, yeah, because it was the hotspot for 3, I believe, COVID outbreaks.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it's either 3 or 4. But yeah, so it's almost $500,000.
I mean, it's a big place.
It is a big place. But yeah, so I'm gonna be watching that. I think it's on at 11:30. So something, I guess, for me to look forward to. I started therapy, guys, with Talkspace. That was super fun. My therapist is super nice. My mom's going to be clutching her pearls at the moment that I'm talking about it. But I think it's the older generations that are just like, you don't talk about that? What?
Well,
She's in therapy?
There's like the personal life and the public life.
And I have like no fucking boundaries. So. But yeah, so that's what we have this week. Right? Nothing interesting? We have a break coming?
Yeah. I don't. Do you want to talk about listeners at all?
Oh, how many we've had this month and how proud I am of us? Is
So
that,
you guys
is that
are
the
killing
one?
it.
Right? Are you guys actually yelling at people down the street like I told you to? Because that would be hilarious, and I need a video of you doing that. I'm just surprised somebody wants to hear me talk as much as I do, which is also hilarious because our most downloaded episode is last week's, which I don't talk that much.
You still talk a lot. But
I do talk a lot, but like nowhere near as much as I usually do because you're telling me a story, which I find hilarious. So thanks, guys. Feel the love. But yeah, so we've been killing it. I'm really, really proud of us, and I appreciate and love every one of you. I feel like that's all the mushy stuff that I can get out.
I think that's a good transition to
plugging all of the things.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'm not doing it this week. It's too stressful. Go for it.
Okay, so we're on Facebook, Instagram, obviously, Paranormal Podcast, and Emily posts. We'll post all the pictures that we post on the blog on social media as well.
Yes.
As important, timely, necessary, funny memes.
Anything that really just catches my attention, I'm like, let me post this on the Instagram. Mostly because I have no fucking clue how to work Facebook, so I just press that little button, share to Facebook as well.
Yeah.
I haven't really mastered that yet, but that's
there you go.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
And stuck at home.
I don't know if that's really...
I really don't think it's good.
But anyway, so we have have our website, which includes our blog, which has the pictures and sources.
I'm sorry. I just started thinking about when we were doing dishes earlier. Okay, we were doing dishes earlier, and our dishwasher is broken at the moment. I feel like every week we talk to you guys, something's broken. But yeah, our dishwasher is broken. So Sierra was washing the dishes because she's wonderful and knows that I hate that part. And I was drying them, and out of the corner of my eye, I see her pick up this yellow bottle and spray it onto the sponge. I swear, it looked like she picked up mustard and sprayed it onto the sponge. And I just start cackling because all I picture is Sierra washing our dishes with mustard. And I questioned everything. I was like, why does she have the mustard? When did she go get the mustard? And why are we washing dishes with it? And what did you tell me?
It's very antibacterial.
Oh man, and for some reason that just got me. Just popped back into my head. There's not a lot going on right now.
We do not recommend you wash your dishes
Please.
with mustard.
No, and if you do, tell me how that turns out.
It's probably just more stain than it was before.
Everything has a nice yellow tint to it now. Like when I cook with the turmeric.
Or the pollen outside.
Oh God. Anyway, find us on the what?
On the blog.
Okay.
Anyway, as I was saying, pictures, sources, and personal resources, should you need them, are on there. And
yes, keep y'all's mental health well. I'm working on mine. Y'all, everyone else needs to take a moment for themselves as well.
Yeah, it's important. You can also contact us through our website, or you can send us an email, paranormalpodcast@gmail.com. And you can send us some actual, physical mail if you want.
Yeah. I don't remember what the address is. Sierra always does.
So the address is P.O. Box 1416, Monroe, North Carolina, 28111.
Yeah, that's how many ones?
3 ones.
3 ones, y'all. It's so funny. Every time we go to the P.O. box, I'm like, which one is it? That's just like every single time we record, I ask her, what is the password to the iPad? Because I do not know.
Oh, man. And then we have Patreon account.
Yes.
Page?
Yeah.
Sure. Profile?
We'll say that. Patreon page. Yeah.
And, so yeah, we have 3 tiers there. If you can support us financially, that'd be awesome.
Go check it out if you want to donate to the cause of keeping this podcast running. Paranorm Podcast.
And then as always, you can support us by sharing and leaving a review or
like scream it from the rooftops.
get one of those like microphone things that plugs into your car.
I want one of those so bad. Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about. This is really important, y'all. Sierra did not know what the slap chop was.
Oh my God.
And I need someone that knew what this was, because it makes my day when I'm feeling sad. I go and watch the slap chop infomercial, and did I not almost verbatim tell you what the infomercial said?
Yes, it's definitely true. But when I did like watch it, she was like, "You have to go watch it," and I was like,
"It's so funny."
Like the product is familiar.
Yeah.
But the infomercial and Vince were not familiar.
Everybody needs to be familiar with Vince.
And then, like, I just kind of went down a short rabbit hole of other things.
All I hear, I'm cooking. I'm in the kitchen cooking, and all I hear is Vince, which is the man from the infomercial, continuing to sell us products. And it was something about sticky, like...
Oh, yeah. There's, like,
sticky or something like that.
A lint roller. And it's...
Oh, I'm familiar with the product. I just don't know what the name of it is.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember either. Something about sticky.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the Invincible.
Yes.
Cleaner.
I think they're hilarious, but the slap chop is by far my favorite infomercial.
Yeah, I think so.
So if you're feeling down, guys, just go watch the slap chop infomercial.
I mean, the product looks very useful.
Doesn't it? I want one so bad. I'm really tempted.
P.O. Box 1416.
Monroe.
3 ones, guys.
Yeah, 2-8-3 ones. Yeah. All right. Anyway, no. But seriously, shout it from the rooftops, like, share, all that good stuff, and we will be back in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Goodbye, everyone. Go watch the slap chop infomercial.
Bye.